This page is the cover of the July 1995 issue of Saturn Fan Magazine. The cover features striking artwork of a character that appears to be a boss from a sci-fi or fantasy title, set against a background of green and red beams. The main focus is the detailed information on upcoming and recently released Saturn titles. Highlighted features include a strategy guide for Gokujo Parodius and Greatest 9. There's a significant section dedicated to new Saturn game information, mentioning titles like Riglord Saga, Blue Seed, Shinobi Legions, and Grand Chaser. The main special feature promises extensive details on a wide range of new releases, covering major titles such as Virtua Fighter 2, Virtua Cop, the game based on Street Fighter, the movie, Galactic Attack, Layer Section, SimCity 2000, Last Gladiators, Far East of Eden, The Fourth Apocalypse, Shining Wisdom, Clockwork Knight 2, Gakko no Kaidan, a lunar title, likely Silver Star Story, and World Advanced Daisen Ryaku. The cover also notes a progress report on a time attack challenge for Daytona, USA, and advertises a large poster featuring Virtua Fighter 3, an arcade title at the time, and Yumimi Mix as a bound-in appendix. The magazine proudly announces the first publication of 11 cuts, screenshots, images, from the Saturn version of Virtua Fighter 2. This page showcases exciting upcoming Sega Saturn titles for the summer. On the left, the popular anime and manga series Blue Seed is featured, reborn as a new card battle RPG. Large character artwork dominates the space, alongside smaller screenshots showing the game's interface and combats. Below, there are smaller previews for other games, including the ninja action of Shinobi Legions, the puzzle fun of Baku Baku Animal, and the horror adventure school Ghost Stories. The right side of the spread highlights Mysteria, the Realms of Lore, described as the ultimate tactical RPG, with its vast scale and impressive 3D visuals created using the latest CG technology. Several tactical grid screenshots and character models are displayed. Further down, Clockwork Knight 2 is previewed alongside an image of the Sega Saturn console itself, reinforcing the message that these are must-have titles for the platform. The spread emphasizes the variety of genres arriving soon on the Saturn. This page showcases the exciting potential of Sega's 32X add-on with the bold title, 32X Power Great Explosion. A dynamic illustration of a futuristic spacecraft dominates the left side, emphasizing the add-on's capability for advanced graphics. Vertical text proclaims that, not just an expansion, the Super 32X software originals are amazing too. The right side highlights upcoming software. Stellar Assault, known internationally as Shadow Squadron, is featured as a Super 32X 3D shooter, bringing the arcade feel home, with features like a replay function. Another 32X title, Paracode, promises intense 3D polygon battles with giant characters and dynamic stages, demonstrating the system's unique visual flair. Finally, for the Mega Drive, Treasure's action RPG Light Crusader is previewed, showcasing its isometric perspective, character interactions, and challenging, trap-filled dungeons. The page also reminds readers that the Super 32X requires the Mega Drive console. This page declares that Konami's Sega Saturn software is hot, promising a big comeback with their exciting lineup. Featured prominently is Twinbee Taisen Puzzledama, a fast-paced puzzle game starring the beloved Twinbee characters, emphasizing chain reactions and fun action based on the arcade game. Baseball fans can look forward to Jikyo Powerful Pro Baseball 95 Kaimaku Ban, bringing the excitement of the pro season to Saturn with realistic gameplay and the latest player data. The immensely popular dating simulation, Tokimeki Memorial Forever With You, makes its debut on Saturn, challenging players to navigate high school life and win over their chosen girl. For arcade shooter enthusiasts, the Parodius Deluxe Pack is highlighted as a popular release, bringing faithful ports of the classic Parodius titles, including Parodius Da, in one value-packed collection. Other Konami Saturn titles shown include the strategic shogi game Kisaisen and a Tokimeki Memorial jigsaw puzzle title. The page also promotes a Get the Soft campaign, where players can win Konami Saturn software and goods. This page dives into the world of Idol Mahjong Final Romance 2 for the Sega Saturn. It's a direct port of the popular arcade mahjong game, featuring a cast of charming anime-style girls you challenge in mahjong matches. The page showcases the main characters, giving us a glimpse into their personalities and ages, including Miku Futakawa, 18, Rei Nakajo, 20, Reina Asakura, 20, Emiri Ito, 18, Hiromi Yokohara, 18, and Marino Ikeya, 18. The game promises enhanced graphics and CD-quality audio compared to the arcade version, featuring full voice acting from popular voice actresses. The screenshots offer a look at both the character portraits and the mahjong gameplay itself. The overall message is clear. This is a faithful and upgraded port of the arcade hit, bringing the popular mahjong action and characters home to the Sega Saturn. This page showcases the expanding capabilities of the Sega Saturn beyond traditional gaming. On the left, it highlights various peripherals and software that unleash the console's multimedia potential. Featured are the movie card for digital video playback, the photo CD operator for browsing image collections, and the electronic book operator for text and static image data, demonstrating how the Saturn can function as a versatile home entertainment and information device. Several software titles leveraging these capabilities are also shown, including games and other applications. The right side is dedicated to announcing Tensai Bakuban Susume, Bakubans for the Sega Saturn. This is a competitive puzzle game featuring characters from the classic comedy manga series Bakuban. The page shows off the unique, hand-drawn art style, screenshots of the gameplay, and confirms its release in June for 4,800 yen. It emphasizes that the beloved Bakuban is finally making the leap to the Saturn in puzzle game form, complete with familiar characters, and perhaps signature moves. This page features two distinct promotions. On the left is an advertisement for Dark Seed on the Sega Saturn, a horror-adventure game renowned for its stunning and disturbing artwork created by H.R. Geiger, famous for his designs in the Alien franchise. Released on July 7th for 5,800 yen, the game plunges players into a terrifying dark world. Initial copies also included a special Geiger original sticker. The right side promotes the Studio Ghibli film Whisper of the Heart, a love story directed by Yoshifumi Kondo and produced by Hayao Miyazaki. The page highlights the film's upcoming theatrical release in July and announces a special preview screening event held at Tokuma Hall, inviting 1,000 readers to attend. This page prominently features an interactive comic game from GameArts called Yumimi Mix Remix, displayed with a large, vibrant illustration of the main characters and settings. The game is set for release on July 21st, and is described as a full-color adventure comic with branching storylines and multiple endings, utilizing over 800 fully rotatable cuts of animation. It also includes a Yumi puzzle game, and comes in a luxurious package with a 32-page full-color art book. To the right, the page presents the contents list for the July 1995 issue of Saturn Fan Magazine. It details various articles, including a report on the Tokyo Toy Show, a feature on Daytona, USA, an E3 experience report from the US, a special on Virtua Fighter 3, and promotions for Yumi Mix Remix. The page also includes a game index listing many Sega Saturn titles with page references, such as Virtual Hydlide, Shining Wisdom, Street Fighter, Lunar, SimCity 2000, and NFL Quarterback Club 95, alongside titles for the Mega Drive and Game Gear, giving readers a comprehensive guide to the games covered in the issue. This page provides a rapid report from the 95 Tokyo Toy Show, focusing on games that caught the editor's eye. The main highlight is Virtua Fighter 2, which made its public debut. The article expresses excitement about the incredibly detailed and smooth character models, noting how characters like Lao and Pei were shown moving simultaneously at 60 frames per second without any loss of performance. New characters Chun-Li and Lion Raphael are also featured, with Chun's movements inspired by Jackie Chan movies and Lion demonstrating original choreography. Another major piece of news is the surprise announcement of Virtua Fighter Remix, a graphically updated version of the original Virtua Fighter featuring new textures. This version is being bundled with a special Sega Saturn campaign box celebrating the console's 1 million units sold milestone. Screenshots show the improved visuals and the character select screen, confirming the enhanced look of the classic fighters like Akira, Jackie, Lebone, and Jeffrey. Virtua Fighter Remix will also be released separately at a lower price point, offering a significant upgrade over the original Saturn launch title. This page delivers a rapid report from the 95 Tokyo Toy Show, previewing upcoming titles. Front and center is the arcade smash hit, Virtua Cop, showcasing the latest footage from the Sega Saturn port. The article highlights the faithful reproduction of the arcade graphics, including character textures and detailed weapons, confirming two-player simultaneous gameplay will be supported. Screenshots show intense shootouts in industrial environments, emphasizing the action. Also featured is a preview of a new 3D polygon shooting game from Game Arts, focusing on realistic combat vehicles. The game utilizes extensive data on tanks, military vehicles, and missiles from around the world. Early screenshots show polygonal walking mechs and a highly detailed model of a British Challenger 2 tank, suggesting a focus on grounded military simulation with impressive visuals for the time. Finally, the page touches upon Yumimi Mix Remix, confirming a Saturn port of this puzzle game. The article notes the charming anime art style and simple matching gameplay, promising engaging graphics await players as they progress through the stages. This page introduces Sega's first action RPG, developed by Sonic Team, Shining Wisdom. It showcases the game's vibrant graphics and character designs, highlighting the rendering technology used. We see key characters like the protagonist Mars, a young hero from a noble lineage, and the heroine, the Princess of Odigan, with whom Mars shares a destined encounter. The game world, the country of Odigan, is detailed through a large map illustration, promising a expansive adventure across over 40 diverse locations, including numerous dungeons filled with puzzles. The volume of content is noted to be double that of previous action RPGs, suggesting significant playtime. The lore of Odigan is touched upon, mentioning its location on the Palmekia continent, familiar to Shining Force 2 players, a battle against giants, and the sealing of the 4 great spirits, or jinns. These 4 jinns, earth, water, fire, and wind, whose distinctive designs are shown, are described as the key to the story. The page also features screenshots demonstrating dungeon exploration and combat, giving a taste of the gameplay. The overall presentation emphasizes the beautiful graphics and the depth of the world players will explore. This page provides a detailed look at the gameplay mechanics and visual features of Shining Wisdom, highlighting the dedication of the developers. The emphasis is on creating a smooth and engaging action RPG experience, with striking visual presentation, featuring detailed character animations, and seamless integration with the backgrounds. The game's action is enhanced by a unique item system, including a rapid hit system that boosts actions and movement speed, and the ability to upgrade speed up to 5 levels. A standout feature is the morphing ability, allowing the protagonist to transform into a squirrel-like creature named Sal. This transformation is smoothly rendered and is key to navigating the environment, letting players reach new areas. The page illustrates this with a series of screenshots. Magic is also central to combat and strategy, with 4 elemental spells: fire, ice, wind, and lightning, that can be cast rapidly. Combining these spells with equipped items creates powerful composite techniques, with over 20 variations promising diverse tactical options. Magic is also shown to be integral to solving environmental puzzles, such as burning trees to reveal hidden paths, adding depth to exploration. The article teases further details about the game's world and characters in the next issue. This page offers a tantalizing first look at the Sega Saturn game based on the live-action Street Fighter movie, titled Street Fighter: The Movie. The game promises to bring the film's cast to life, using digitized actor likenesses and motion capture. While much remains under wraps, initial screenshots suggest a gameplay experience aiming to replicate the feel of classic Street Fighter 2, complete with features like the first attack indicator. The article hints at various game modes beyond standard versus, including a potential story mode tied to the movie's narrative, though details are sparse. The page is filled with screenshots showcasing a wide array of characters such as Guile, Chun-Li, Ryu, M. Bison, Sagat, Balrog, Vega, E. Honda, and Cammy, confirming a robust roster based on the film's characters. Crucially, fan-favorite special moves and super combos are present and accounted for, adapted to the game's distinct visual style. Even the movie-exclusive Captain Sawada is shown, featuring his own unique techniques. This page offers an exciting first look at the Sega Saturn remake of the classic RPG, Lunar: The Silver Star, tentatively titled Lunar: Silver Star Story. The main illustration proudly displays the returning protagonists, Alex and Luna, alongside other key characters as they embark on a new adventure. The article delves into the game's development by Game Arts and Studio Alex, highlighting its nature as an enhanced version of the original Sega CD title. Discussions touch upon the game's expanding world, featuring both familiar faces from the first game and entirely new characters, with a hint that even villains like Galeon might appear in unexpected ways. The importance of concept art in shaping the game's rich world is emphasized, with examples shown including a grand mountain castle and a vibrant floating island with airships. Gameplay is previewed through screenshots, showcasing the overhead world map and a top-down battle screen. Notably, the battle system is described as updated, moving away from random encounters to visible enemies on the map that the player initiates combat with by touching them. The visuals are stated to be significantly improved, taking advantage of the Saturn's capabilities, particularly its sprite handling, promising detailed character animations and environments. This remake aims to deliver a comprehensive and visually enhanced experience of the beloved original story. This page offers an exciting look at Far East of Eden, the Apocalypse IV, a new RPG making its way to the Sega Saturn. The article covers a production announcement event where key staff, including series creator Oji Hiroi, revealed details about the game. Prominent artwork showcases the unique aesthetic of the series, blending Japanese and Western influences, with characters in various action poses. Screenshots give a glimpse of the game's visual style, including iconic imagery like the numbers 666, hinting at the game's apocalyptic themes. According to the developer comments, they are aiming to create revolutionary characters that break from previous conventions. The game is described as an RPG set to arrive in the spring of '96 and is currently in the early stages of development, noted as 20% complete. The team is focused on leveraging the Saturn's capabilities to deliver a compelling experience within the series' distinct worldview. This page showcases the upcoming Sega Saturn title, World Advanced Daizenryaku. It's presented as the evolution of the popular Daizenryaku, great strategy, simulation series, known from PC and Mega Drive. The title promises a significant power-up in system and graphics, bringing the strategic gameplay of World War II to life. The article highlights dramatically improved battle scenes, moving beyond static sprites to use polygons and textures for dynamic, detailed views of units like tanks, ships, and planes. Over 500 different types of units are expected to be included. The campaign mode, previously focused on controlling German forces against the Allies in Europe, will now expand to include the Japanese campaign, allowing players to command the Japanese Empire. Screenshots demonstrate the detailed unit graphics and varied battle perspectives. From ground combat with tanks to naval battles and aerial dogfights, the familiar hex-based map view is also shown, alongside production menus. The game aims for historical accuracy, while allowing players' decisions to alter history. This page delves deeper into the system changes and new features coming to World Advanced Daizenryaku compared to its Mega Drive predecessor. It clarifies basic gameplay mechanics and highlights the significant shift where the nation's capital is no longer just terrain, but a conquerable unit, meaning defeating it ends the game regardless of other units. Experience and training are detailed as new parameters, influencing unit performance and evolution. The article notes some elements that are gone, like specific units or mechanics from previous versions. It also details numerous smaller adjustments, including how unit durability, weather effects, and income generation work. Unit evolution is present, with automatic evolution in campaign mode, and unit improvements now cost military funds instead of experience. Indirect attacks from artillery are still range-dependent. A major addition is the introduction of reinforcements and support in campaign mode, bringing new units onto the map mid-scenario for both players and the AI. Finally, the page showcases several impressive battle screenshots featuring specific historical unit matchups, such as the Japanese Type 97 Chiha tank against a Bren carrier, the battleship Bismarck facing a transport ship, the formidable Tiger II tank versus the Soviet JS-2 meters, and a destroyer engaging the Japanese battleship Musashi. These examples illustrate the game's detailed unit models and dynamic combat visuals. This page gives a follow-up report on the ambitious tactical RPG, Riglord Saga, emphasizing its commitment to polygon graphics. The entire game world, including the Riglord continent, exploration fields, towns, and characters, is rendered using polygons, which allows for dynamic viewpoint changes. The article highlights the game's focus on visual spectacle, noting how polygon graphics enable various production values, especially in battle scenes. Dynamic camera work, zooming into action, and different angles are possible, making combat feel more engaging. Terrain height is crucial for strategy on the battlefield. The page also introduces several unique characters, with striking CG renders, including Juza, Ash, Evan, and Diana, and mentions an in-game feature allows players to view detailed character information. Riglord Saga is presented as a game incorporating new systems and ideas to fully utilize its polygon presentation. This page dives deeper into the strategic gameplay of Ridlord Saga, following up on the previous introduction to its polygon graphics. It focuses on mastering the unique growth system and battle mechanics to ensure victory. Characters gain experience and level up after clearing each map, not after individual battles, enhancing their abilities. The game uses two viewpoints for tactical play: a wider map view useful for terrain analysis, and a zoomed-in view showing character status and battle details. Mastering battle flow involves considering movement influenced by terrain height, choosing actions like attack, defense, or using skills, and checking enemy stats. The article also lifts the curtain on the game's opening story, detailing the invasion from the eastern land of Yamatai, led by the powerful Genshusai. The goal is to rescue the queen and reclaim the kingdom, starting with key battles in a forest, escaping an underground prison, and fighting at Queen's Knolls. Iconic characters like Arthur, Musashi, Chloriyasha, and Akibi join your party, while formidable foes like Juza and Genshusai are introduced. A key feature is the skill system, where characters learn new abilities through inspiration, or gain skill express by using them. Using skills repeatedly increases their power, and they offer varied ranges and effects crucial for tactical advantage. The game encourages gathering allies, highlighting that 12 warriors are needed for the fight. This page features a substantial preview of Galactic Attack, known as Layer Section in Japan, an arcade hit making its way to the Sega Saturn. The article hails the game as a flawless port of the vertical scrolling shooter Rayforce, emphasizing that the Saturn version perfectly captures the arcade experience, including its distinctive graphics and gameplay. The core gameplay revolves around standard shots and a unique lock-on laser system. Players can target enemies on different planes, locking onto multiple foes before unleashing a powerful laser attack. The article highlights that strengthening these two attack types is key to progression. Screenshots display various stages, including space, urban, and industrial environments, showcasing impressive bosses and enemy formations. Areas 1 through 7 are previewed, detailing the distinct visual themes and challenges of each section, from battling aerial and ground units to confronting massive, multi-part boss machines, particularly emphasizing the final, most powerful area. The tone is highly positive, praising the game's quality and successful transition to the Saturn hardware. This page delivers an exciting, hands-on report from the Electronic Entertainment Expo, E3, held in Los Angeles from May 11th to 13th. The article covers the massive scale of the event, highlighting Sega's presence with a large booth showcasing the US Sega Saturn launch. A significant focus is placed on the Alice Saturn, which launched during E3 on May 11th. The report mentions the console's price and bundle details, noting it came packed with Virtua Fighter. Visuals include photos of the convention center, Sega's impressive booth filled with excited attendees playing games, and a clear shot of the sleek black Undulus Saturn console. Screenshots of upcoming games like Bug and what appears to be Virtua Fighter are also featured. The page also includes a direct interview with William White Jr., the Vice President of Marketing for Sega of America. He discusses Sega's strategy for the US Saturn launch, touching on sales targets and the different market preferences compared to Japan. He specifically highlights Virtua Fighter, Daytona USA, and Bug as important titles for the US market. The report emphasizes the excitement surrounding the Saturn's arrival in North America. This page dives deeper into the E3 showcase, highlighting key titles for the US market and beyond. Sega's 32X gets attention with impressions of Virtua Fighter, praising the character selection but noting the BGM could be improved in the development build. Capcom's presence is felt with the reveal that their fighting game Vampire will be titled Night Warriors in the US. The article also spotlights Sega of America's domestically developed games, including the unique perspective action of Bug, and sports titles like NHL All-Star Hockey. Screenshots also feature Crystal Dynamics offerings such as Legacy of Kain and the space shooter Solar Eclipse, demonstrating the breadth of titles coming from third parties. This page presents a striking visual dichotomy, bridging the gap between cutting-edge 3D graphics and charming hand-drawn artistry. Dominating the center is the bold, iconic logo for Virtua Fighter, a pivotal title in the history of 3D fighting games. The accompanying 3D renders scattered across the left side appear to be from or inspired by realistic 3D games, possibly showcasing character models or environments, potentially further highlighting the visual prowess Virtua Fighter and other similar titles brought to the platform. In stark contrast, the right side is dedicated to the whimsical world of Yumimi Mix. This section features vibrant illustrations of characters from the game, known for its unique blend of visual novel storytelling and adventure elements. The artwork captures the expressive and endearing style of Yumi Mix, showcasing its distinct appeal compared to the more realistic 3D games. The page effectively encapsulates the diverse range of gaming experiences available, from the technical spectacle of 3D fighters to the narrative and artistic focus of titles like Yumi Mix. This page features a delightful contrast, combining charming hand-drawn characters from Yumi Mix on the left with the data-driven world of game sales rankings on the right. The prominent Ranking Street section presents sales charts for the Sega Saturn, Mega Drive/Mega CD, and Super 32X during April 1995. The Saturn, Mega Drive, and Mega CD combined rankings show Daytona USA dominating at number 1, followed by Virtua Fighter and Panzer Dragoon. The Mega Drive/Mega CD chart is topped by Puyo Puyo 2, while the Super 32X ranking is led by Doom. A sales analysis highlights Daytona USA's strong performance and the continued success of Virtua Fighter, noting positive sales trends for the Saturn itself. This section serves as a key source of market information and insights for readers. This page dives into the heart of reader opinions, presenting the game report card for the Sega Saturn. Based on reader surveys, the top-ranked game for the month is Virtual Fighter, though the overall feedback was surprisingly critical despite its number 1 position. Following in the rankings are Acaristal and Romance of the Three Kingdoms IV. The page breaks down reader thoughts for the top titles into Sweet Murmurs, positive feedback, and Bitter Complaints, negative feedback. For Virtual Fighter, readers expressed mixed feelings, particularly regarding its graphics and gameplay mechanics, noting it felt like a retro revival that didn't quite land for many. Estelle received praise for its beautiful visuals and engaging opening demo, though some found the gameplay simple. Romance of the Three Kingdoms IV garnered comments on its deep simulation aspects, but also criticisms on its learning curve and price point. This section gives a great snapshot of what Saturn owners were really thinking about the latest releases. This page is packed with reader feedback and ranking data across multiple Sega platforms, Super 32X, Mega Drive, and Mega CD. It features the Game Report Card section, similar to the previous page, but focusing on the 32X and Mega CD. For the Super 32X, the top game is Knuckles Chaotix, scoring highest based on reader surveys. The feedback is quite divided. Sweet Murmurs praise its unique tag team action and encourage players to get used to it, while Bitter Complaints find it frustratingly difficult and the ending disappointing. Despite mixed reviews, it secured the top spot. The Mega CD section highlights Slam Dunk, based on the popular manga/anime, as the top game. Below the report cards, the page presents Popularity Ranking and Wishlist Ranking. The popularity charts show Virtual Fighter 2 leading the Saturn rankings, Megami Tensei I for Mega Drive/Mega CD, and Wing War for Super 32X. The wishlist rankings indicate what games readers hope to see released or ported. Vampire Hunter, Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge is a top wish for Saturn, while Super Street Fighter 2X, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, is highly desired for Super 32X. The page also includes a section soliciting reader game reviews, offering prizes for submissions, and lists upcoming titles readers are anticipating, including Puyo Puyo 2. It's a great snapshot of reader sentiment and market trends across Sega's active platforms at the time. This page is dedicated to amplifying the diverse voices of Sega fans, offering a mix of sharp critiques and humorous insights. A central debate unfolds, asking whether adult-oriented games, referred to here as erotic games, are necessary for the Sega Saturn. Reader opinions are split, with 73% seeing them as a legitimate genre and 27% worrying they could tarnish Sega's image. Sega's official stance, mentioned in the judge section, acknowledges them as a form of possibility of expression within genres. Longtime Sega users from the Mega Drive, Mega CD, and Super 32X era share their experiences, including the often complicated setup required to connect multiple systems, humorously depicted with a tangle of cords and adapters. Readers also share their thoughts on various games. One expresses a strong addiction to Daytona USA, while another recounts their experience with the Sega CD title Double Switch. There are also comments about Virtual Fighter 2 and the Sega CMS. A fun illustration depicts a fantasy battle between characters from Panzer Dragoon and Virtual Fighter. Other feedback touches upon titles like Sonic Drift 2 and characters like Tails and Dr. Eggman. The page wraps up with a call for readers to continue sending in their postcards and feedback. This page introduces a new developer entering the Sega Saturn scene, Kaze. Having previously developed pinball games for Melduck, they are now bringing their expertise to the Saturn with Digital Pinball, Last Gladiators. The article highlights their focus on realistic pinball physics and offers a demo of the game. The page also delves into Virtua Fighter 2, specifically discussing the rank certification mode and its ultimate challenge, referred to as the Final Mystery. The section features impressive CG artwork, including a dynamic pose of Kagemaru and a scene captioned, "He is away on a vacation," tying into the Virtua Coliseum branding that covers both Virtua Fighter titles. This page delves deeper into the rank certification mode in Virtua Fighter for the Sega Saturn, revealing the ultimate challenge to achieving higher ranks, the regulation number. This isn't just about winning. You must perform specific special moves a required number of times in each stage. The article provides strategic advice on countering the CPU opponents, offering tips tailored for each character like Jackie, Sarah, Pi, Wolf, Jeffrey, Cage, Akira, and the final boss, Dural. It emphasizes crucial techniques such as mastering the back throw, which is essential for climbing the ranks, and details specific strategies for efficiently defeating Dural to achieve an excellent rating. The page also includes a comprehensive list of each character's special moves, a vital reference for players aiming to complete the regulation number requirements. Various screenshots throughout illustrate key moments and techniques discussed. This page continues the discussion around Virtua Fighter on the Sega Saturn, but this time delves into a fun mini-feature showcasing various quirky glitches and strange occurrences players have discovered in the game. It highlights amusing bugs like characters falling through the ring, or odd character poses appearing unexpectedly. The page then shifts gears dramatically to announce the highly anticipated arrival of the next major fighting game, Street Fighter Alpha, Warrior's Dreams. This new entry is presented as a significant evolution, introducing key systems such as the powerful super combo mechanics and the helpful auto guard feature, designed to make the game more accessible. It also mentions the game shares its technical base with Darkstalkers. Finally, the page includes a regular section featuring fan-submitted illustrations of Virtua Fighter characters, with this month showcasing Pei-chan, Cage, and Jackie Bryant, offering a look at reader creativity. This page dives deep into the roster of Street Fighter Alpha, Warrior's Dreams, profiling 10 of the core combatants vying for supremacy. It kicks off with Ryu, the Eternal Challenger, highlighting his classic moves and continued pursuit of strength. We then see Chun-Li, the determined detective, known for her speed and acrobatic attacks. Charlie Nash is introduced as the military operative seeking justice, distinct from Guile with his rapid maneuvers. Ken Masters, the flashy red-clad fighter, returns having heard of Ryu's battles, eager to challenge his friend. Rose, a mysterious new character, channels her soul power in unique ways. Guy from Final Fight makes his Street Fighter debut, utilizing his nimble Bushin-Ryu techniques. Birdie, also from Final Fight, is back, described as a powerful brawler. Sodom, another Final Fight character, appears wielding multiple katanas. Abaddon, the Muay Thai Emperor, is here to challenge Sagat after his defeat by Ryu. Finally, Sagat himself is profiled, ready to reclaim his title, now showcasing new techniques. The page includes various screenshots demonstrating their moves in action. A small section at the bottom teases the existence of hidden characters, confirming that fan favorites like Akuma might be making an appearance, hinting at unlockable secrets within the game. This page explores Sega's AM3 development division, known for its arcade hits. It highlights Eijihan Detective Agency, a puzzle game challenging players to find hidden differences in detailed images, showcasing its unique visual style and addictive gameplay. The article then delves into AM3's history, emphasizing their focus on technical expression and engaging experiences. Key titles like Dark Edge, Dragon Ball Z vs. RVS, and Sega Sonic the Hedgehog are mentioned. Developers discuss their creative process, challenges, and reflections on past projects, including thoughts on home console ports. The page also touches on AM3's approach to game design, their role in the arcade factory, and introduces Hisao Oguchi, the division head. Finally, a list of AM3's arcade game releases is provided, teasing the upcoming reveal of their latest project. This page presents an intermediate report on the official Daytona USA time attack competition for the Sega Saturn. It details the current fastest lap times achieved across the beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes as of the May 15th results. The page highlights the top 3 current best lap holders, noting their impressive times and the car colors they used. Screenshots of the game in action accompany the results. A section provides strategy tips, including course-specific advice, and explicitly warns against using known glitches in the beginner class. The rules for participation are also summarized, explaining how players can submit their best runs via VHS tape. The magazine encourages racers to keep competing, noting that opportunities still exist to improve times and climb the rankings. This page dives deep into strategy for Daytona USA's intermediate course, specifically focusing on mastering the yellow car to achieve top lap times. Building on the discussion of the time attack competition, it highlights that while the orange car is often preferred, the yellow car has been proven fastest on this course, capable of laps under 42 seconds. The guide details the yellow car's characteristics, noting its superior top speed and acceleration compared to the orange car, but warning about its significant drawbacks: poor grip and weak contact resistance. This means you need to drive precisely and avoid hitting anything or going onto the grass. The page breaks down the course into sections, providing specific tips for each. It emphasizes maintaining speed, careful cornering, and avoiding mistakes which are particularly costly, with the yellow car's handling limitations. There's a brief look at predicted section times, showing how stringing perfect sections together could theoretically yield an even faster lap than the current records. Overall, the message is clear. The yellow car on the intermediate course is challenging due to its difficult handling, requiring significant skill and practice to unlock its full speed potential. This page features an in-depth interview with 2 heavyweights of the Japanese game industry: Kenji Ino, president of Warp, developer of the game D, and Yuzo Koshiro, senior managing director of Ancient, composer for games like Streets of Rage and Story of Thor: Beyond Oasis. The discussion centers on the often underappreciated role of music in creating immersive game experiences. They specifically delve into the Sega Saturn port of the horror-adventure game D, highlighting the challenges and opportunities presented by the Saturn's hardware and the Cree-drum format, especially concerning graphics and sound compared to the original 3D version. Koshiro touches on the technical aspects of composing for the Saturn and comparing its sound capabilities to the Mega Drive and PlayStation, noting differences in sound quality and memory usage. Screenshots from D showcase its groundbreaking 3D graphics and eerie atmosphere. There are also images from the action RPG Story of Thor / Beyond Oasis, a game Koshiro composed for, illustrating the diverse genres where game music plays a crucial role. The interview emphasizes how music is integral to game immersion and narrative, not just background noise. Profiles introduce the 2 guests, detailing their significant contributions to game design and composition respectively. This page continues the interview from the previous page with game music heavyweights Kenji Ino and Yuzo Koshiro. They delve further into the technical aspects of composing for different consoles like the Sega Saturn and PlayStation, comparing their sound capabilities and memory limitations. Koshiro shares insights into how he approaches creating music, referencing classic titles like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy IV, and discussing the evolution of game sound design from the Famicom era. They emphasize the critical role of music in enhancing player immersion and the challenges of balancing technical constraints with creative vision on the Saturn. The page also features the News Dynamite section, highlighting hot topics. A key interview here is with Azuma Yoshitaka, the synthesizer artist responsible for the iconic music in Panzer Dragoon. Azuma discusses his unique creative process, explaining how he translates visual concepts like space and the horizon into musical scores for the game. He talks about starting his career and the journey leading to composing for Sega Saturn. The page also mentions the release of the Panzer Dragoon Original Full Sound Version soundtrack CD, and includes advice from Azuma Yoshitaka for aspiring composers. This page features a variety of content, starting with goods related to the Studio Ghibli film Whispers of the Heart, including character goods and an otebako, or treasure chest item. There's coverage of the live UFO event held during GW, highlighting Sega's amusement area where popular arcade games like Virtua Fighter and Sega Rally were showcased. News includes getting quick information about Capcom games via fax services, showing images related to Street Fighter II and Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors. There's also a section on home karaoke using video crids, and news about new karaoke songs being released. The News Dynamite section highlights a TV program featuring dynamic art of fighting game characters. Finally, the bottom section reviews several compact discs, including soundtracks for games like Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors arcade version, the Street Fighter movie soundtrack featuring artists like MC Hammer and Ice Cube, the Twinbee Yahoo original soundtrack, and a Luna-related CD called Lunacratic Parade. There is also a CD by voice actress Akiko Hiramatsu. A list of names towards the bottom right are likely winners or readers featured on the page. This page kicks off with a vibrant section celebrating reader artwork, titled Illustration Big Bang, Ignite the Spark of Creation, Reader's Art Explodes. It features various submitted illustrations under sections like Sensitivity's Microcosmos, showcasing different styles, including one with cute animal characters, and another featuring a character from Samurai Showdown. Another section, Sexy Dynamite, highlights a dynamic illustration of a female character. Additional reader art is scattered throughout the page, including fan art for games like Darkstalkers. Moving to the right, the Game Research Lab delves into Virtual Highlight. The feature explains that the game offers immense replayability due to randomized map and item layouts, ensuring no two playthroughs are exactly alike. While the page includes detailed monster data for Virtual Highlight, listing stats and locations for various creatures like zombies, mimics, golems, and different types of armored knights, this information is presented in a table format. The section advises players to keep this monster and item data handy as a reference while exploring the game's world. This page continues the in-depth look at Virtual Highlight from the previous page, picking up with more detailed monster data for creatures like vampires and mad dragons, including their stats and drops. It then transitions into comprehensive item data, breaking it down into weapons, armor, and tools. The weapons section lists various swords and staves with their attack power and special effects, while the armor section covers different types of protection and rings, noting their defense and resistances to things like poison and fire. The tools section is extensive, detailing various usable items, recovery potions, scrolls with different magical effects, and key items required for progression in the game. A small guide explains how to interpret the columns in the item tables. Finally, the Game Research Lab puts out a call for readers to send in postcards with feedback and questions about Virtual Highlight, as well as suggestions for future game topics to be covered. This feature provides essential data for players navigating the randomized world of Virtual Highlight. This page is a reader survey and giveaway entry form, inviting fans to answer questions for a chance to win popular games. It outlines various questions about reader demographics, gaming preferences, opinions on recent game releases, and feedback on the magazine itself. The questions cover topics like age, occupation, gaming habits, preferred game genres, and even desired future content for the publication. Readers are instructed to fill out the corresponding numbered fields on the attached postcard with their survey answers, and indicate which prize they want to win. The prizes offered this month include 10 copies each of several Sega Saturn and Super 32X titles, Riglord Saga, Digital Pinball, Last Gladiators, Blue Seed, Kushinada Hirokuden, Zan, Yabu, and NFL Quarterback Club 96. The page provides clear instructions on how to fill in the numbers on the postcard, emphasizing accuracy for automated processing. The deadline for entry is July 7th, with results announced in the September issue released on August 8th. This page continues the reader survey, providing the actual postcard entry form and the lists of options readers can select from. The postcard section includes spaces for the reader's address, name, phone number, and a grid to fill in game scores, likely corresponding to a previous page's game review section. Below the postcard are several tables, numbered 1 through 4, which serve as answer keys for the survey questions. Table 1 lists the articles featured in this month's issue, covering various game reviews, hardware features, and special reports like coverage on the Saturn Fan Club and Sega Saturn Fan Meetings. Table 2 provides a list of other gaming magazines readers might read, and Table 3 lists various gaming hardware platforms from different manufacturers. Table 4 is the most extensive, listing hundreds of games for the Sega Saturn, Super 32X, Mega Drive, and Mega CD. Readers use the corresponding numbers from these lists to answer survey questions about their favorite games, games they want reviewed, or games they own, among other potential questions related to the magazine's content and the gaming landscape of the time. This table acts as a comprehensive reference for the survey, allowing readers to easily identify and select specific titles or topics they are providing feedback on. This page introduces SimCity 2000 coming to the Sega Saturn, positioning the player as the mayor tasked with building and managing a sprawling metropolis. The article highlights key features that build upon the original game, including the introduction of subterranean levels allowing for underground infrastructure like water pipes and subways. Players gain enhanced control over the city view, with the ability to zoom in, zoom out, and rotate the perspective. The challenge is amplified by an expanded roster of disasters, now totaling over 10 types, including the return of fire and flood, alongside the appearance of a giant robot monster. The article walks through the fundamental steps of city building, starting with selecting and placing a power plant, touching on the variety available like coal, nuclear, and solar, then laying down essential infrastructure like roads, power lines, and water systems. As the city grows, players can build massive, self-contained arcologies, like the Plymouth Arco or Darko, which house vast populations in a single structure, representing the peak of late-game development. Overall, the page emphasizes the depth and complexity of SimCity 2000, while guiding players through its core mechanics, showcasing screenshots of cityscapes, the underground view, and the imposing monster disaster. This page features the Sega Saturn game Gaku no Kaidan, tied into the movie, released the same summer. It's an adventure game that uses footage from the film, offering a terrifying experience right from your console. The gameplay involves exploring the school, clicking on elements in the scene to progress the story, and searching for 8 scattered Haniwa fragments to escape. The game utilizes different screen types: an adventure screen for interaction, a movement screen to navigate the school floors, an action screen requiring quick button presses during monster encounters, and a cinema screen showing movie clips that advance the plot. Several terrifying monsters from the movie and original stories are highlighted, including a massive giant chasing the kids, the slit-mouthed woman Kuchisaki Onna, the cursed human model, Jinmen Moke, and the infamous Hanako-san in the toilet stall. The game follows the story of children trapped in a haunted school, aiming to find the Haniwa pieces to break free. Screenshots showcase the various game screens and menacing creatures, emphasizing the visual horror drawn from the film. The article frames it as a direct way to experience the movie's chills. This page dives into the immersive world of digital pinball, Last Gladiators for the Sega Saturn. The article highlights its ambition to replicate the feel of real arcade pinball machines, boasting impressive 640 by 480 resolution and realistic physics simulations for ball weight, trajectory, and table tilt. The game features 4 distinct tables, each offering a unique theme and challenge: the Brutal Gladiators Arena, the Medieval Night of the Roses, the Mythical Dragon Showdown, and the Dark Fantasy Warlock table. The reviewer notes that these varied tables cater to different playstyles and difficulty preferences, encouraging players to master each one. Gameplay mechanics like realistic nudging and tilting are discussed, along with classic pinball features such as multi-ball and extra balls that boost the excitement. There are even tips provided on basic ball control and aiming techniques. The page concludes with a brief look behind the scenes, mentioning a making-of segment involving filming locations in Tokyo and Hollywood, hinting at the game's production values. Overall, the article praises the game's realism and replayability offered by the diverse tables. This page dives into the supernatural world of Blue Seed, focusing on the story and battle mechanics of Episode 4. As an RPG building upon the popular manga and anime, this installment sees our heroes exploring the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building, which has been overrun by the Aragami. The game's progression hinges on a unique card system, where players select cards before battle to gain advantages. You can also find useful items dropped by bosses, or uncover equipment conversions by searching areas like the Ministry of the Environment Office. A particularly interesting element highlighted is the Pants Detective, a character who provides strategic tips hidden around town. Mastering cooperative attacks between specific pairs of characters is crucial, as these unleash powerful combo moves that significantly boost damage. Episode 4 follows the protagonist Kome Sawaguchi and her teammates as they infiltrate the building, splitting into 2 groups to navigate the complex. Key characters like Momiji, Daigo, and Yayoi are involved in this mission against the Aragami and the 4 Heavenly Kings. The page also speculates on the intense confrontation between Kome and Momiji, hinted at in future developments, leaving the player wondering about the mysteries surrounding Kome and the motives of the 4 Heavenly Kings and Ga. The screenshots showcase the game's top-down exploration, battle screens displaying character stats, and dramatic combat animations. This page introduces Grand Chaser, a futuristic cyber racing game where drivers compete for their nation's honor. You'll pilot Earth-made machines against opponents from various planets. The game offers 2 main modes: the story-driven mode, where you face different opponents across 11 courses, and a free run mode with options like time trial and versus races against the computer or a second player. The story mode has 2 difficulty levels: standard for beginners and advanced for experienced players. Gameplay involves maneuvering vehicles that hover above the ground, using items like missiles to attack rivals, and mastering the unique side boost technique for sharp cornering. You can also customize your vehicle's handling and performance through 4 setting categories, including adjusting engine characteristics, steering, and brakes, and powering up your boost, shield, or weapons. The magazine details several courses, highlighting challenges like navigating sand traps, avoiding obstacles, and managing speed on high-speed tracks. It emphasizes understanding each course's features to gain an advantage. The page also features artwork of the main driver and rival characters. This page features Shinobi Legions, known in Japan as Shin Shinobi Den, an action game for the Sega Saturn highlighted by its use of live-action visuals for characters and cutscenes. A notable feature for the console, you take on the role of a ninja with superhuman abilities, fighting a powerful army of enemy ninjas to rescue your master's daughter from the antagonist, Kazuma. The game is a side-scrolling oriental action experience spread across 9 main stages, plus boss levels. Combat involves using a sword, shuriken, and items, with various ninja actions like dashing, jumping, hanging, and special sword techniques performed through button combinations. Powerful ninjutsu can also be activated using items. The page details the early stages, including fighting through a nighttime city, navigating a forest by climbing trees, and facing unique living statue bosses, and exploring a bio-research lab filled with monsters before reaching a final showdown with Kazuma. This page details Shinobi Legions, an action game for Sega Saturn, noted for live-action visuals and ninja combat across diverse stages. This page features Clockwork Knight 2, the sequel to the Sega Saturn launch title, arriving about 6 months after the original. This side-scrolling action game has been powered up significantly, boasting enhanced visuals and sound, along with more stages and traps compared to its predecessor. The page highlights new stage gimmicks, including surprising branching paths that split the course forward or backward. It also draws attention to a gorgeous opening sequence, featuring a lively band performance. Gameplay includes riding the character Baro through stages, and utilizing the Clockwork Knight's familiar actions, though expanded for the sequel. The page also previews the first area, detailing its stages and introducing the boss character encountered there, promising a challenging fight for Pepperuchow. Returning characters like Chelsea, Ginger, and Sultia are also shown, hinting at their roles in the continued adventure. This page dives into the world of Gokujo Parodius Deluxe Pack, the Sega Saturn port of the popular arcade SHMUP. The focus here is an in-depth strategy guide for tackling the game's challenging special stage and achieving a Nomus Clear. The page breaks down the special stage into several distinct zones, from the initial rush of small enemies where strategic power-ups are key, through sections featuring tricky octopus-like cells and a unique SD boss with complex bullet patterns. It also covers the infamous Crystal Ball Zone, requiring precise timing and movement, and a Chowetic Bubble Zone where visibility is limited. The guide emphasizes the importance of character selection, recommending Koitsu for its advantageous options, and provides specific tactics for avoiding dangerous attacks and managing power-ups throughout these perilous areas. Highlighted is a step-by-step visual guide showing the optimal path through a particularly difficult pattern, demonstrating the exact movements needed to survive. The overall tone is that of an expert walkthrough, acknowledging the stage's difficulty but offering clear, actionable advice based on precise enemy patterns and optimal player movement to help players master this demanding challenge. This page continues the strategy guide for Fantastic Journey, delving deep into key boss battles and challenging mid-stage segments across various levels. It provides detailed breakdown for tackling threats like the swirling color plates and Zabu enemies, emphasizing evasion and quick targeting. The guide covers Stage 1, focusing on scoring opportunities with purple bells and early power-ups. Stage 2 strategy targets the mermaid boss, advising players to hit her tail and bubbles while dodging her frontal arc attacks. For Stage 3, the focus is on surviving the boss's dangerous reflective lasers and exploiting openings. Stage 4 presents the formidable building boss, requiring players to dismantle its armed components before striking the core. Finally, it offers tactics for the true final boss, Pentaro X, detailing how to avoid his diverse attacks from homing missiles to Chowtic laser bursts and penguin projectiles, stressing the importance of hitting his head and core. The guide also includes vital tips on boss revival patterns, helping players recover and continue the fight after losing a life. This page continues the in-depth strategy guide for Parodius Deluxe Pack, focusing on overcoming key challenges and boss battles. It provides detailed breakdowns for navigating Stage 5, offering tactics to either score big or quickly defeat the boss. For Stage 6, the guide emphasizes learning the boss's attack patterns, suggesting it becomes a straightforward fight once memorized. There's a specific section dedicated to boss revival patterns, offering tips on how to best recover and regain control after losing a life during boss encounters. Strategies for the notoriously difficult Moai stage are also covered, highlighting evasion techniques. Furthermore, the guide tackles specific challenging areas like the Rabbit Rush and Cake Cut Penguin area, providing step-by-step advice. It even points out strange, safe zones within stages, discussing their reliability. The page is filled with screenshots illustrating these tactics and locations, featuring various stages, enemies like Moai heads and penguins, and playable characters such as the human forms of Hikaru or Akane. It's a comprehensive guide aimed at helping players conquer the game's toughest segments. This page dives into Greatest 9, Sega's third sports game, offering an in-depth guide to mastering its mechanics and utilizing player data. The feature covers essential strategies for hitting, pitching, and defense, explaining how to read player stats like form, velocity, curves, and stamina for pitchers, and batting power, contact, speed, and defense for batters. Screenshots illustrate key gameplay moments and tactical execution. The guide highlights techniques such as pressuring the runner during batting and mastering pitching tempo and course selection. It also touches upon defensive positioning and making crucial plays. While the page includes tables of player data for various teams like the Dragons and Giants, these are extensive lists. It also showcases the top 5 players in key statistical categories. The feature promises a complete archive of team-by-team player data starting from the next page. The next page continues the deep dive into Greatest 9, presenting extensive player data for all teams across both the Central and Pacific Leagues. It features a detailed 6 teams check for each league, using radar charts to analyze each team's characteristics based on 6 key stats: pitching ability, hitting power, contact hitting, running speed, defense, and throwing strength. These charts and the accompanying text provide strategic insights. For the Central League, the analysis highlights the Giants' hitting power, the Swallows' balance, the Dragons' pitching depth, and the Bay Stars' fast runners despite overall imbalance. The Pacific League analysis points out the Lions' overall strength, the Hawks' pitching prowess, the Blue Waves' reliance on key players like Ichiro, and the Fighters' contrast of weak hitting with good runners. This comprehensive overview helps players understand and utilize each team effectively in the game. The next page dives into American football with a preview of NFL Quarterback Club 95 for the Sega Genesis and 32X. It highlights the inclusion of all 28 NFL teams and emphasizes the strategic depth and physical nature of the sport captured in the game. Players can enjoy the standard NFL play mode or jump into historical classic games in the simulation mode. The page also showcases various key plays and moments with screenshots, including kickoffs, running plays, passes and interceptions, and touchdowns. Additionally, on the left side, the detailed coverage of Greatest 9 continues, presenting player data for 2 more teams and explaining the mechanics behind editing teams, detailing how player abilities translate into overall team performance stats in the game's customization mode. This page features the Hyper Ultec section, providing special tips and commands for various Sega games. It kicks off with Daytona USA on Saturn, detailing how to access different game modes, including a unique parent and child horse racing mode. Screenshots show the cockpit view and manual/auto transmission options. Next up is Panzer Dragoon, offering cheat codes for unlimited continues and invincibility, plus a command for episode select, alongside a tip about managing your HP, illustrated with screenshots. Mickey Mania, the timeless adventures of Mickey Mouse, Genesis Mega Drive, is covered next, explaining a method to access stage select via the sound test menu, shown with menu screenshots. The strategy game Romance of the Three Kingdoms IV, Wall of Fire, provides a tip for gaining bonus points when creating new officers, with accompanying screenshots. Following this is Tails Sky Patrol, strangely listed under Saturn, which gives commands for a sound and stage select feature accessible from the opening screen, featuring screenshots familiar from the Game Gear title. Finally, Daedalus on Saturn offers a list of useful commands, including ways to restore shields and gain special items, shown with gameplay screenshots and a summary of button inputs and effects. Side panels briefly mention the ranking system for these tips, and a call for reader submissions of new tricks for various Sega consoles. This page dives into Sega Saturn peripherals, showcasing 3 items designed to expand the console's multimedia capabilities and introducing a new, feature-rich controller. The first section covers multimedia playback, highlighting 3 Candela's media devices. The movie card lets you watch video crids, turning your Saturn into a capable VCD player, and the article even notes its potential use in games. Next is the Photo CD operator, a software solution for viewing photo CDs, offering faster loading times and features like zoom and color adjustment compared to older methods. It also discusses Photo CD portfolio, showing example images that include content from games like Clockwork Knight. The third multimedia item is the electronic book operator, enabling the Saturn to read electronic book CD-ROMs, providing access to dictionaries and other reference materials. Finally, the page introduces the Sun Saturn Pad, a new controller packed with features. Its key selling points are command registration, macros, rapid-fire functionality, and a slow-motion toggle, making it a versatile choice, particularly highlighted for its potential advantages in fighting games. Images throughout the page show the box art for the 3 multimedia peripherals, the Saturn console with discs inserted, examples of content playable on these devices, and the new Sun Saturn Pad controller itself. This month's shortened edition features previews of upcoming Sega titles across various platforms. For Game Gear, Fight! Pro Baseball Twin League returns with realistic baseball gameplay, while Magic Knight Ray Earth 2 offers a training simulation to nurture 3 characters. Ninku, an action RPG based on the manga, also gets a preview. On the Sega Saturn, Sotsugyo 2 Neo Generation, a high school teacher simulation where players guide 5 girls, is showcased. An overflow information section provides a glimpse of other upcoming games. These include action titles like Kishin Duji Zenki and a Tales game, Tales Adventure, as well as simulation titles such as Godzilla and sports games like J-League Soccer, highlighting Sega's diverse upcoming lineup. The next page features previews of 4 upcoming Sega Saturn titles. First up is Darkseed, a horror-adventure game known for its visuals designed by H.R. Giger. The game involves exploring creepy locations and solving mysteries tied to a nightmare world. The article notes the need to switch between different interaction modes to progress. Screenshots showcase the distinctive, unsettling art style. Next is Virtual Volleyball, a polygonal sports game aiming for a realistic feel. It highlights dynamic camera angles that follow the ball and supports 2 players. The controls are described as simple, and multiple game modes are available. We also see Honkaku Shogi Katsura, a shogi simulation packed with extensive data, including professional game records and player information. It caters to players of all skill levels with modes for beginners and advanced users, plus shogi problems to solve. Finally, there are 2 adventure games. Blue Chicago Blues is a live-action adventure from the J.B. Harold series, featuring real actors and locations as you investigate a murder. The final game, Homotsu Hunter Line Perfect Collection, is based on an anime series, presenting its story through animation and voice acting with a command-based interface. The Sega Saturn's upcoming titles span various genres. Puyo Puyo 2, Puyo Pop 2, offers new puzzle action with dynamic visuals. Heisei Tensei Bakabans presents a unique puzzle experience based on the anime. Fist of the North Star is an adventure game bringing the manga to life. Lupin III. The Master File is a database adventure game for fans. Quo Vadis, a space simulation, emphasizes narrative and character interactions. Lastly, Shinrei Jusatsushi Taromaru Demon Hunter, is a visually distinct action game blending ukiyo and kabuki aesthetics with side-scrolling combat, supporting 2-player co-op. This page showcases several upcoming and recently announced games across different Sega platforms. Featured prominently are previews for 4 titles. Princess Maker 2 is heading to the Saturn, offering a detailed simulation experience where you raise a young girl over 8 years. Mahjong Kaigen Monogatari is a Saturn mahjong game featuring polygonal graphics and idle characters. On the Mega Drive, Comic Zone delivers unique action set within the panels of a comic book, requiring you to defeat enemies to advance through the story. Also for the Mega Drive is The Ooze, an action game where you play as a sentient blob, attacking foes and absorbing them to grow and replenish your mass. A section dedicated to super hot topic information lists various new titles coming to the Saturn, including the interactive movie Dee's Diner and the puzzle game Baku Baku Animal. Several PC ports are also mentioned from companies like Koei and Crystal Dynamics, bringing titles like Gex and Legacy of Kain to the platform. Additionally, the page features previews for Fina, Emblem of Justice, an upcoming Saturn RPG remake that promises enhancements over the Super Famicom original, and a tentatively titled TV anime slam dunk game for the Saturn, focusing on the popular basketball series. There are also sections highlighting games nearing release on Saturn, farewell titles, and new and nearing release titles on other platforms like the Mega Drive and 32X, including games like Warlock, Stargate, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, WWF Raw, Knuckles Chaotix, and Tempo. This page provides an extensive look at upcoming releases across Sega platforms. The Sega Saturn section is packed with anticipated titles spanning various genres, from action and RPGs to simulations and fighting games like Virtua Fighter Remix. It lists games releasing over the next several months, showing a strong lineup building for the console. The Super 32X and Mega Drive sections also show continued support, with new games on the horizon, including ports and original titles. The Mega CD and Game Gear calendars are more modest, but still list new software coming soon, demonstrating Sega's commitment across its hardware range. An editorial note reflects on events like E3, highlighting key announcements and industry buzz, particularly regarding the impact of new hardware, like the Saturn. Finally, a preview teases the next issue, promising more in-depth details on upcoming RPGs, updates on the popular Virtua series, a Daytona Time Attack report, and coverage of the latest toy show. Overall, the page conveys the excitement and breadth of Sega's software pipeline across multiple systems during this period. This page features a striking promotional spread for the survival horror game D, developed by Warp. The central image is a large, abstract representation of the letter D, incorporating eerie human eyes into its structure, hinting at the game's psychological and unsettling themes. The left side clearly displays the Warp logo, stylized as letters in old television screens, identifying the innovative developer behind the title. On the right, the Sega Saturn logo is prominent alongside the Japanese release date, 95.7.28, confirming its arrival on the platform. The Acclaim logo at the bottom indicates their role as the publisher in Japan. This visual-heavy page serves as an impactful preview for one of the Saturn's unique and highly anticipated horror experiences at the time.